Hey, it's your boys
Welcome,
back
man.
after a long, long hiatus, man. What's good with y'all? The Gen G universe, the Smokeout universe, man. Yeah, I've been gone for a minute. That's why we haven't been doing these shows. And as you see, the group chat on Wax, I've been gone for damn near. We've been gone for a month now. We didn't even do it since I gotten back. But it's a good reset, man. I mean, the UFC events have been going, and it's been good. But I guess we'll also recap the last time we were on the show together, just for the sake of it and for the culture. But what's up with you, man?
Hey, man, we still been going back at it. The fight's been whatever lately, but we're going into a good stretch of 4 weeks where it should be some good fights. So, yeah, man, let's get
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah, man. Damn, last time we were talking about UFC on this show, it was back in UFC Iowa, and that was a while ago, man. We both didn't do so good in that card here. Nesto went 1-3, but only minus 0.35 units, so nothing big. He got a big dog with RDR at that time. That was the last card we were talking about at plus 265, big one. He dominated Bo Nickel. And then we lost on Cameron Smotherman at plus 115. Took a shot on Ryan Loader at plus 315. That was a big dog. And then had a parlay with Misha Tate and Jillian Robertson. And Misha Tate was looking old.
Yeah, but
So
also looking old, but she came back and dominated that third round, though. Like, if that
yeah,
was a
so
5 round fight, the way it was going, she probably would have took it, but
had a chance for
yeah.
sure. And then for me, I went 1-3, but minus 1.9 units. The only one I hit was Juliana Miller plus 190. That was like I remember telling everyone, hold your nose in that ugly fight. And then the ones I missed, man, Gaston Bolanos was not looking good. He was minus 140. And then Misha Tate, I was on that as well. Did not look good. And then my parlay didn't hit with Sandhagen, Jones, Robertson, and then, of course, Bo Nickel. The one that lost to RDR. Got dominated and fraud checked damn near. And it was just too early for him, I think. He needs a lot of time to develop, especially his striking, bro. Yeah, that was not good. And then people were talking about weight cut, but we won't talk about it too much, man. I also had another stinker last week. Not a stinker, but like the hold your nose type of win. The only one I hit was the first fight, just like Juliana Miller. I had the Ardeline chick at plus 225 on that stinky fight. That was the only one I ended up actually hitting because everything else was just janky for me
I
last
actually
card.
did. I did decent on this card. The only fight that played me was the Shayna Dos Santos. I don't know why I even bothered.
Oh, that first one with
Yeah,
Ardeline.
I was on the opposite, but yeah, I don't know why I touched that. Fucking
But shit,
dumbass.
we move forward and we actually got a good event from entertainment purposes. UFC 316, and we're gonna bring back the part of our hiatus was also the production team. We had to switch up. Chang got deported. With this new Trump thing. So Jaime still semi around, but we can't talk about it. So we're switching on new production. We're here, new program, and we're trying to give this another shot because we've gotten feedback from the Gen G universe, and they want to go along on the tapology with us, as long as our technology decides to cooperate. But yeah, man, this card we got the rematch of Marab Dvalishvili, the champ, versus Sean O'Malley 2. And then we also got Juliana Pena against Kayla Harrison. So that's a kind of going to be a nice rivalry there. But we start at the bottom on this card. And, to be honest, we starting out with a bang here. We got Chaos Williams versus Andreas Gustafsson. And, yeah, man, this is going to be an interesting fight for me. I think both guys are down to scrape. They're going to fucking throw hands. They're going to go at each other. I think neither of these guys are passive. If you remember Andreas, I believe he's from the Contender Series, and he was a beast on it. Let's see where he was. Yeah, from Contender Series back in 2024. He was a big favorite, and he delivered, man. Knees to the head, and he was just aggressive. And I think with Chaos Williams, who, I actually been pretty high on, is also very aggressive. He did lose his last fight to Gabriel Bonfim, who's a big prospect, and he got choked out. But before that, I mean, he's been beating fools up, and only losing to decent talent. and he is going to be, I believe, a huge favorite here. I'll double check. I should have had my odds up. But I believe he's going to be a favorite in this fight. But yeah, go ahead. What do you think on this fight?
Yeah, this is a rescheduled fight, right?
I'm not sure. I didn't
Oh, no,
see,
it's
but
not.
maybe.
Nah, yeah, I don't know. I haven't really seen Andreas fight like that, so I just got to go with the chaos.
Yeah, man. And I
No hot
just
take
pulled
for
up the
me.
odds here for y'all. Let's see if they got it out. Oh yeah. So Chaos Williams minus 200, Gustafsson plus 170. Yeah, I'm with you here, man. I like Chaos here, and the main reason is that Gustafsson's style is all gas, no brakes, just like Jacob Fatu. And I think Chaos Williams is kind of in that category too. And I think it's going to be a recipe for in Chaos's favor. Whereas, when he fights the technical guys, obviously grapplers, things like that, it affects his style. But now he has someone that matches his style. Don't get me wrong, like he could definitely get knocked out by Gustafsson, but also Williams is shown to be pretty durable as far as getting knocked out. I don't think he's actually been knocked out before, but I'll double check. Yeah, he's never been knocked out before. He's only been subbed. So I don't think that Andreas is going to be trying to sub this guy. I think they're just going to throw bombs. Under over is at 1.5, but the over is minus 155. I don't know. I thought I was going to get a 2.5, but maybe it lasts. I'm not sure about the rounds, but yeah, I'm with you here. Chaos Williams. I think he's just got more experience, and the styles is going to be perfect for him. But honestly, anything more than minus 200 could be a little sketch, with his ass there. But next up, we got a rescheduled, kind of. The fighter got rescheduled. Markel Medeiros against Mark Choinski. Actually, did not know much about this guy, but Markel was supposed to fight last week, I believe, and he got rescheduled, and now he's going to be fighting in this fight. Both of them are prospects here. He's undefeated, or not undefeated. Sorry, he is never been knocked out. And last fight he did a split against Austin Hubbard, as you can see, and he was actually a favorite. So that one's kind of a little red flag for me, being a favorite and getting a split with someone that the UFC doesn't really care about anymore with Austin Hubbard. He did beat Landon Quinones, which is also a good win, I think, in my opinion, and that was his first UFC fight. So I like this kid. I believe he's a huge favorite.
Choinski?
Choinski. I don't even know if their odds are up. Oh, yeah, it is.
It's a Mark Choinski plus 185, Markel minus 220.
Exactly. So, I mean, Choinski here, this picture doesn't do him any justice. But yeah, man, this guy's also never lost, period. So he is undefeated, nice shiny record. He is going to be grappling a lot more. And here, most recently, he came from Anthony Pettis FC, which, to be honest, like, I haven't watched a lot of fights on there or anything like that, so I don't know. But I'm not a big when I see a lot of these fighters have these leagues, usually the level, I feel like, is not that great. Like when they have their personal leagues. So for me, I'm going to go with the favorite here. I don't love the price, but I like Medeiros. I think he got more promise. I haven't seen a lot of the other guys, so that's why I don't feel 100% confident. But rightful favorite, Medeiros, minus 220, I think is normal, right price here.
Medeiros.
Yeah, man. Who do you like?
Same. Medeiros. Marqueer.
Yeah, man. I might do a little degeneracy to start the card. I see off the first two fights alone. A little two fight parlay right there. Two favorites. Isn't a terrible look here. Next up, man, we got everyone's favorite, Yanal, or why anal. Why not anal is the question. But Ash Moose here against Killen Sakild, which is also another prospect. He's 8-1 from Australia, and he's known to have his little mustache, and usually has the mullet, which is a big style over there for the Kiwis and the Australians. And he's young, up and coming, never been knocked out. He has lost before, but here's the thing, man. He most recently knocked out Anshul Jubilee. That's where you probably seen him from, UFC 312. He knocked him out with the quickness in the first round. And we are definitely not high on Indian MMA. That scene is just sketchy, right? He did beat Gage Young in the Contender Series, but he was the favorite there, so he should, rightfully won. Whereas Yanel here, man, this is interesting because this guy's packs a punch. This guy's definitely throwing bombs, and he's pretty durable too. Never been finished. Just lost to Chris Duncan, who's I think is pretty decent technically, and most recently beat Trevor Peek, and it was like a pick'ems fight. So coin toss there. The odds really indicate it going one way, which kind of put me in my brakes here. But Killen is minus 500. I think Killen is better, technically better in all aspects, except for maybe power. I don't know. You could argue that. But I like him. But minus 500, it seems way too steep.
Especially against Ash Moose, who has he's fought in some people in the UFC. Chris Duncan, who super tough competitor on a cool winning streak, and then like Sam Patterson, which he floored him, but he's been on a good win streak ever since then.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, it's kind of hard. And Trevor Peek, he's like that, that redneck jiu-jitsu type, just scrapper kind of guy. And Yano was able to get him out of here. I don't know. It's gonna see if the Quillen guy is for real, but I think I'm chasing the dog on this one, the Jewish.
Yeah,
one.
I'm with you. I think Killen should be the favorite, right? But like minus 500 is excessive.
Especially for like your UFC debut, like on the main card pay-per-view. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, he's probably gonna not knock out Yano. Yano has a lot of durability, right? And if you don't knock him out, then it's like, I don't like having a minus 500 going to decision. You know what I mean? Like that in general, that concept is sketchy in my opinion. So yeah, I'm with you there. I think for my pick, who I think wins, I think Killen wins and rightfully should be a favorite, but I think he should be more like minus 200, minus 250 at most. So I think the value and everything is going to be on Yanel, and if you're going to bet it, taking a shot on Yanel isn't bad. And Yanel's never bad.
Hey.
So next up, who do we got here? We got to go back. Next up, we got. No horny fights yet. We got Azamat Mirzakhanov against Brenson Ribeiro. Man, another kind of interesting matchup with huge odds.
Yeah, Brenson Ribeiro coming off of a fight where he was a big underdog as well, right?
Yeah, let's check him out here because I think he be coming through as the underdog pretty often.
No, yeah.
Let's see. Last fight, this guy's all over the place on the record, obviously. I remember this because I bet on Dayar Ngozi and lost. And this fool was a plus 300 and beat Dayar. And then before that, he won in a split decision against Caio. Well, he was a slight underdog as well, Caio Machado. And then before that, he lost to Gadze Sulov. And he was an underdog, so, I mean, he was supposed to lose. And he lost to Ming Yang Zhang, who just throws bombs. And if you're going to get knocked out, I mean, that's what's going to happen. So the one thing about Brenson, man, he's going to go in there, he's throwing. He's down to scrap. He's going to fight for your money. And that's where, my hesitation lies with the other guy, right? Because, I mean, I'm on the same boat as the last fight here is like Azamat should be the favorite. He is technically better. He's probably going to grapple a lot. He's decently durable. Obviously, he's undefeated. That plays a big role. And I think when you have undefeated fighters, you also have to pay that undefeated tax. Like they're going to juice that fighter just because he's undefeated.
No, but yeah, he's a beast, though.
Yeah, he's a beast. I mean, he should win.
He's been in a lot of canceled fights. Is it like his fault or whose fault has it been, too?
I'm not exactly sure. They don't tell us here.
Yeah, look, that's how many canceled fights.
Oh, it says right here. Johnny Walker
withdrew. Okay.
Yep, and then Krylov, Mirzakhanov withdrew. So it's a mixed bag, it looks like.
And then against Roundtree, look, Volkan.
My bad. Roundtree, for whatever reason, doesn't say.
Oh, it says McCurve, Pneumonia.
Oh, pneumonia, and then withdrew. So it looks like a lot of these are sketchy. And look at the opponents he's had. The only respectable opponent, I would say, early would be Dustin Jacoby.
Yeah, but then
out of all these people.
But look, with the type of competition he's getting them out of here. Look at it; it's all finishes.
Yeah, no, this guy's the real deal. I think he's the real deal. I just think I'm not ready to lay this price on him, but I'm not big on Ribeiro, even though he's been surprising people, and he definitely surprised me last fight, right? Like, so I guess for the sake of it, I'm definitely picking Mirzakhanov. I think I do believe that Mirzakhanov should be minus 500 more so than what's the other guy, Sakil. But I still think it's a little too much. But I'll think about it. But either way, I'm going Azamat. Mirzakhanov. Maybe because I'm spiting Brenton Ribeiro too. I'm guessing you're the same.
No, yeah, for sure.
Okay. Next up, man, we got. Okay, here we go. Speaking about people on fighter leagues, we got Ju Sang Yo against Jeka Saragi. Jo Sang Yo, if you guys watched that show, Looking for a Fight with Dana White, right? One of the episodes this year, I don't know how long ago, it was like a month or two ago. He wanted to go to South Korea. It got canceled due to martial law or whatever. But he ended up watching it from afar because this guy was in the Korean Zombie League, the league made by Korean Zombie. And this fool's already 31. But the thing with the Korean guys is that they all have to go to the military, so they lose a lot of the years in their prime. So Dana White, he often, and he said on the show too, he's like, I never look for 30-year-old guys to be prospects, But in this case, he liked the guy, the way he finished the dude in the last fight, and just like his overall style was entertaining for Dana White. So Dana White signed him off of that. And I feel like they're giving him a semi-easy matchup as far as UFC goes. Jeka Saragi, he's actually from Indonesia, I believe. Yep, which is very rare, Indonesian MMA. And he's a knockout guy. And he's been disappointing. Most recently, got submitted by Weston Wilson. All he beat was Lucas Alexander, who sucks. Lost, red flag. Throw it there, bro. You lost to Anshu Jubilee.
Oh.
The
He
pride
lost
of
to the bench
Indian MMA. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I lost money on that fight too because I bet against Jubilee. You know what I mean? So yeah, like to me, Jeka has more experience in the UFC, but I'm just not seeing any good opponents, anything. So I like this kid. The only thing holding me back is once again the odds. I hate the odds on a lot of these fights. Jang-Soo Yo is minus 500, 510. That's crazy, bro. Like this fool's only fought like Koreans for the most part. And although Korean MMA is, way ahead of fucking Indonesian MMA, right? It's like, how can I trust that when Jeka could knock you out? I mean, I like Joe Yo or whatever, but I think he should be like, once again, minus 250, minus 300 type of range. But yeah, for the sake of the pick, I'm going the favorite here. Ju Sang Yo. Who do you like?
Yeah, I'll go with just the big minus 500, but I won't touch this fight.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those greasy weeks, but I feel like who's going to ruin it? There's always that one that ruins it for the bunch. So I think it's time for the horny fight. One more before the horny fights, man. Next up, we got the heavyweight boys. We got Sergey Spivak against Waldo Cortez Acosta. This is an interesting matchup, man. We got a Sergey Spivak, who I actually like, but he's going to be heavy grappling, heavy ground and pound, that type of style, weigh on you. He's never been subbed, and that's definitely not going to happen with Waldo Acosta because he's not going to go for the sub. But he's been knocked out, so that's something you got to be worried about because even most recently, Jalton Almeida has beat Spivak by knockout, right? Mounting him, punching him. Before that was Cyril Gain 3 fights ago. And then he did beat Marcin Tybura on the grappling, right? But look at the list, man. I would argue that the competition level that Sergey Spivak is a lot higher, right? I think striking-wise, it's no comparison. Waldo Cortez is going to be throwing those jabs. He's going to be a lot quicker with his hands. He used to play baseball, and he's really good with these like overhands, which are like almost like the style that he pitches in. So he's throwing some heat, and he's never been finished, so he's very durable. But obviously, look at his best win was his last one. Obviously, Ryan Spann. I actually respected that win, but before that, Robelis de Spain, old Andrei Arlovsky, Bresky. Like you lost to Rogerio de Lima. So all this. You got to fight who's in front of you. The heavyweight division isn't stacked like that when it comes to the mid to the bottom tier people.
Yeah, heavyweight's like terrible now.
Yeah, so I get it, but I just like the upside of Spivak. Don't get me wrong; he could definitely get knocked out and finished if he stays striking. But
the underdog.
Yeah, the odds are pretty close. Like, they got Spivak at minus now 144, but I was looking at him earlier. He's minus 130. So look at a little bit of money's coming on him. And then Waldo Cortez is plus 120, 125. So, I'm riding with my boy Spivak. Not a huge crazy play, but I just think the odds at minus, even 160 or better is worth it. I like that at 130. I like it at 140. I'm going to that side. Who do you like?
Yeah, damn near. Waldo, he's sketch. He's a really sloppy fighter. He has been getting bigger, like weight wise. He was a small heavyweight, I want to say, for the division. But you said last fight was against Span, but that was also Span's first fight at heavyweight. He's really just a 205er, and he did TKO him, right? But it was like Span is like, you always say how Span is like, kind of trash.
And on top of that, Waldo was the favorite.
Yeah, he should have been. But I know Sergey Spivak, he has kryptonite when against like fellow wrestlers. I feel like he's going to try to get his grappling. You said that he could get knocked out, which could happen. But I don't know, I think Waldo's just he's too sloppy the way he fights. It's always some bullshit with him. So, yeah, I got to go with the polar bear.
Yeah. And I was thinking at first, too, I was like, damn, Waldo is so much in comparison to Spivak, right? Like, striking-wise, he's a lot quicker and sharper. But then I look at the list of who Spivak's fought, and I'm like, bro, he fought Cyril Gane, and, he got knocked out and lost, right? But, Cyril Gane is, way fast. Is fast. And if Cyril Gane fought Waldo Acosta, I think he would beat up Waldo Acosta, pick him apart.
Yeah.
That's kind of my opinion on striking. So it's like, well, if he's seen better, then I think he could survive this, right? So that's really the logic there. All right, man. I think this is the first horny fight of the card. Finally, we got Ariana Lipski da Silva, the Queen of Violence, against Kong Wang, the Joker. And once again, Kong Wang is a big favorite, minus 500 right now. She opened, I think, minus 350 or something. Now she's minus 500. I get it. I get why. Ariana Da Silva is probably on the end of her career. She's turned her life to God, and which is great, but it's not great for MMA per se. She's, now she's been married, but, now she's focused on a relationship. I heard rumors or stories about possibly her wanting to have kids, So I think that part is tough. And then you got Kong Wang, who's, started her career late in the UFC. She's been a kickboxer the whole time. She's been, to be honest with you, major disappointing overall for how hyped she was. She's 7-1, so she's only lost one technically, right? But look at who she lost to. Granted, it was a rear naked choke, so I'll forgive her on that. But Gabriela Fernandez, okay, I get it, but still. Then you went 5 rounds with Bruna Brazil, and you were at minus 330, and there was times where Bruna Brazil was still alive. Bruna Brazil's not that good in my opinion.
No, yeah, Kong Wang, she got the hella hype because she's trying to say she was a female. She wanted to be the female Alex Pereira, but she hasn't been living it up to. This is I don't know, this could be a spot where she's fighting a seasoned vet who might still have some gas left at the tank, and maybe Lipski can try to steal something here. Because I think, we said, she used to be the Queen of Violence, right? But now she's on a 2-fight losing streak.
Yeah, but look at who she's fought though.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Oh yeah, those
Jasmine
are two.
Judavicius.
Yeah,
and Kareem.
Those are the top 3.
Yeah, probably those are top people. Jasmine Judavicius is about to get a title shot soon.
And Kareem Silva, that's the one who just beat the brakes off.
No, but you're on the right. She's also.
She didn't beat Grasso.
No. That was
Natalia Silva, right?
Natalia Silva. But Karine Silva's a prospect too, and she's pretty good. Not as good as Natalia Silva. Silva might be the future champ, possibly. But yeah, dude. And then even this, Casey O'Neill, I think she's not great at all.
No, but she's a solid vet. Look, even JJ Aldrich on there, who's still competing. She got a fight coming up soon. Hey, yeah, I might have to go with the Queen of Violence the old school Queen of Violence, if there's something left in there. Because, like we said, Wang Kane, man. She's minus 500.
I just think there's value.
Yeah.
I agree. To me, Kong Wang should win, right? This is almost like a setup fight. But then you're bro, Kong Wang at minus 5. If you give me pick'ems, minus 150, minus 200, I would definitely fire on Wang Kong. But then now you tell me minus 500 is bro, you're disrespecting Ariana Lipski like she's never done anything before. And yeah, there's a lot of red flags, but at now you're almost plus 400 in women's MMA. I mean, it's definitely worth the squeeze, like a sprinkle. You don't got to put your mortgage on it, but that might be some value there. Next up, man, we got our boy, friend of the show, hopefully, Joshua Van against Bruno Silva, man. Yeah, Joshua Van, man, prospect, been very active, young, up and coming, yellow excellence. He is a huge favorite in this fight, though, so I think the people kind of catching on. He's minus 550 right now, with Bruno Silva being plus 400. Yeah, man, I mean, without further ado, I think out of all the people on this card at minus 500, I feel the best about Joshua Van at being minus 500, minus 600. Yeah, I mean, he does jump into the fire, I think, because he knows he's durable. He knows he's, young. He's willing to fight. So he kind of fucks up there. But I think, after his loss with Charles Johnson, he took that loss and learned. And he's been solid. He hasn't knocked fools out. But the people he's fighting have been pretty durable and willing to brawl. And yeah, man, I mean, other than that, I'm going in. I don't like Bruno Silva that much. I mean, he's 35 years old against a 23-year-old. He most recently, I mean, good opponents. Manel Cape he lost to, which is totally reasonable.
Yeah, and Durden, I think that was like a scrap, right? Like they rocked each other or something like that, and then he
exactly.
Yeah. No, I mean Van should get it. I just don't like the minus 500, but I guess the odds are just trying to do that. Minus 250 would have been cool, but yeah, Van's on a fire, man. Like you said, he got even the fight with Charles Johnson. He was winning that fight, and then he got caught.
Yeah.
So like
exactly,
that fool's he's a beast, man. He's been cashing. We for sure have been on him on this show. If you go check my track record, I for sure have picked him every single time. So yeah, man, Miramar, stand up. Got to go with Van. I think I'm already looking at this parlay that I'm gonna cook up.
Yeah,
with Van
the greasy. I'm putting him in my greasy parlay too. Fuck it.
Yeah, I got a three whammy with Van, Azamat, and then Patchy Mix.
Patchy, which is our next fight we're talking about here, getting on the main card to open the main card, man. We got the debut of the Bellator / PFL champ, Patchy Mix. He was actually the Bellator champ, but PFL's screwing up. They're losing all their fighters. You got Patchy Mix, the favorite against Mario Batista, man. Patchy Mix minus 170 and 160, 170. Mario Batista about plus 140 or so, man. And I'll let you kick it off, man. Since you like Patchy.
Yeah, Patchy Mix is a beast, man. If you've seen his work outside the UFC, but a lot of people don't pay attention. But he's been locked in the last few fights, so he's straight dog. Been finishing people, but it's like, yeah, he hasn't been able to showcase his talent with someone. They can't even get him fights. So good for him that he left. He got his release and now gets to fight in the big show. It sucks, kind of the circumstances, kind of shaky because it is a short notice fight. Who was Mario Batista going to fight before this? That pulled out.
I forgot. Let me click over there. Mario Batista was supposed to fight Marlon Vera.
Marlon Vera pulled out, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a good fight,
and then
too.
another guy, I mean, Batista has gotten some flack where he's against that fight against Jose Aldo where he thought he wasn't trying to fight, he was just pinning him against the cage. That's something he's not going to be able to do with Patchy Mix, because that's like Patchy Mix's style. He's a good grappler. But he can knock fools out. He knocked out that Stotts. That's where I was like, oh, yeah, I can't bet against Patchy ever again. I was going for Rafael Stotts, and then Patchy just, like, slept him in the first round, like, out cold. So, yeah, man, he's a beast. Like I said, I'm going to use him as my anchor parlay. Kind of sketch, like I said already, about short notice, but just showing that he's game, man. So, yeah, it's time to see if he can do something in the UFC.
Yeah, when this fight got announced, bro, I thought they were going to open this as, like, a pick'ems, or, like, closer odds.
Yeah.
Right? But then I also know, like, at the same time, Patchy's coming in with a lot of hype. I think, as you said, a lot of MMA fans have followed him if you're, like, an MMA fan. And you also know him just through Tatiana Suarez, right, if you're a UFC fan in that case. So, man, this guy's the real deal as far as the grappling game, for sure. And from what I've even heard in other interviews and other, like, analysts and stuff that are in, MMA or people that were fighters before and coaches, they always say like, bro, if you guys really watch if you guys are into grappling, obviously I'm not an expert in that, but like he's probably the best in MMA. Period. They said like when it comes to jiu-jitsu, not just like wrestling, like jiu-jitsu, taking the back, like MMA grappling, right? They said right now he's probably the best, not just in the division, like possibly, arguably the best overall. So that's something that's interesting to hear. And then it's hard because at the same time, we've seen a lot of these guys come from Bellator and PFL, right? Or mostly Bellator. And they don't necessarily always live up to the expectations because the opponent levels are usually not as good and the competition is not as good in other leagues. So when they come here, it's different. But I think Patchy Mix is going to have a longer career here for sure. He's already 31. He's in his prime, I think. And it's just a great addition. So I'm excited. As far as the pick goes, man, I thought I was ready to fire on Patchy Mix. I'm not going to lie because I thought I was going to be a pick'ems. As him being the favorite, part of me throughout the week has been thinking back and forth. And I just think Mario Batista is like a rough first fight, man. I think he's a real-ass fighter. I think Mario Batista's lightweight a little underrated. You know, even for me, I underrate him a little bit.
But the thing is, like, his style is like the Patchy Mix, like, light.
Yeah, he tries to wrestle, but I think he's going to... If it gets to the ground, obviously, you know, it's obvious. Patchy
but it's not
Mix
even like...
dominate.
Patchy's not even like his ground fight. It's him... Patchy likes to do that shit where he puts you against the cage and it's like roughing you up, shit like that. That's like what Mario Batista's been trying to do lately.
I feel like he had to in that last fight though, because he was, you know, Jose Aldo's dangerous, even though he's old and you know he was at the end of his career.
Yeah.
When it was just standing and striking, dude, Jose Aldo was dangerous as fuck.
Yeah.
So I felt like Mario Batista was like, oh shit, wasn't expecting all that, and he had to resort to pinning him against the fucking cage to survive.
Because look, they're both the same exact age. Patchy got him 2 inches height and reach. So
Patchy's actually tall.
Yeah, 2 inches on.
He looks short, right?
Nah, he looks like a lanky, just like skinny little dude.
Yeah, I felt like I swear I thought he was like 5'7" for whatever reason. Yeah, so no, he's pretty tall. He's almost 6 feet tall, man.
Yeah, I can see the weight cut though, because also like a short notice fight, and who knows how how he's gonna do the weight. That might be affecting, because I think he probably walks around like maybe 190.
Yeah. I think he's the rightful favorite. Once again, for me, I guess just to go a little contrarian to spice it up a little bit because we've been agreeing on it. I guess I'll just go value Mario Batista here. I just think that the odds should be a little closer, and I think that this is not just a setup fight for Patchy. They wanted to do that, but I just think this is a tough opponent. And for Matt Patchy to go in and be the big, like slightly big favorite, is maybe a little too much. But he is the real deal. I do believe he's gonna, regardless of win or loss, he's gonna be in the UFC. He definitely is gonna be a title contender, you know, for sure. Even if he loses this one, he still could bounce back. So I guess I'll go with Mario Batista as a dog here. Think he could shut down the first wave of the hype, real quick. Next up, man. What do we got here? We got Vicente Luque against Kevin Holland. Man, I hate myself for this. And if I say that, you already know where I'm going with it. Yeah, man. This is interesting because they got Kevin Holland as a huge favorite. Crazy. Minus 275 right now. Luque plus 235. That's a little crazy, as always, with Kevin Holland, because he's a wild card, and we say it every time, every fight. You know, how Kevin Holland are we going to get? Is he reliable? You know, what is he? We know he's talented. He did look good against Gunnar Nelson, right?
Gunnar Nelson hasn't fought in
look
years.
Bad.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But then also, this is at 170. This is where Kevin Holland shines, is at 170. But then minus 275 is crazy. What's Luque's last fights? Because we already know about this guy.
Luque, he's only 33, bro, but I swear he feels older than that, right?
Well, it's because he had those issues where he got like that heart thing or something in his brain, yeah.
Yeah. Themba Gorimbo, he choked out Themba Gorimbo hella early, and I think in that fight he was
the underdog.
Underdog.
Yeah.
Before that, he did get knocked out by Joaquin Buckley. He was supposed to fight Nick Diaz, remember that?
Buckley's that guy right now, though.
Yeah. I mean, in a resume, you can't compare, right? Because this fool's been around forever.
No,
he's
they
a
both
beast.
have. They both have now.
Yeah.
But
look, I mean, damn, Tyron Woodley, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he only lost the
Well,
top tier
remember,
talent.
and then
So
Holland, he was the one who fought Jacare and finished him. So they both been
from the
around
bottom.
forever. Kevin Holland was he's just still young, but you've seen him so much because he's always just fighting all the damn time. And again, he's doing it now. But it's something to do with when he fights these well-rounded guys. He is finally at 170. I said that is a good advantage for him, but I think there's value on Luque for sure because just the head case of Holland, you don't know how ready he's gonna be, and then Luque's always gonna be in there ready. And I just feel like Kevin Holland's no Joaquin Buckley, even though he's beat Buckley before though, right? Which is crazy now if you think about it.
Now, yeah, that was like whoa.
But yeah, I think
That's
in
MMA.
value, I'm gonna go. I can see like Holland finishing Luque because Luque is also old, like you said now. And who knows if that chin is still holding up? Even though look, they're only 1 year apart.
Yeah, just Holland seems younger, right? He lives a younger lifestyle.
Yeah, so
Young
man,
man.
if Holland's not serious, like, Luque can take this easily, bro. And if that chin can hold up, yeah, I would think I'm gonna value a little bit on Luque. Always got to fade Holland now.
Yeah. Yeah, man, this is what I was leading off with saying. I hate myself for this, but I'm going. I like Kevin Holland in this matchup specifically. I do think I agree with you. I think now minus 275 is a little much or a lot much because of just always Holland's mental issues and just like issues of just taking it seriously or he's there for a paycheck or not. But I mean, I liked what I saw in the Gunnar Nelson fight, and I think Luque's on the little decline, right? But he's a beast and well rounded, and I think Holland's gonna be able to pull this out. I like Holland, I guess, for the pick here, but I don't like the value, of Holland, but I like Holland here. I don't know. What do you like about the total? The total is actually at 1.5 rounds.
Yeah, I can see it
So
going later.
yeah, over 1.5.
Especially if like Luque mixes up the grappling. That's the thing. Luque for sure got better grappling than Holland. So that's
Yeah, exactly. No,
that's
for
what
sure.
could be interesting about it. But yeah, I'm gonna pick Luque just fuck it.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. We get into the main three fights here. All still got kind of wide odds as well. Man, a lot of this card is just wide odds. But yeah, we got Kelvin Gastelum versus Joe Pyfer. This was actually rescheduled from I think the Mexico card, where Pyfer was just getting sick from food poisoning or something. I don't know what he's saying, but
Yeah, he said he was hating hard on Mexico. So fuck this
yeah,
shit.
exactly. And he doesn't. He's like, I'm never fighting in this shithole city again. But yeah, and he's a knockout guy. Obviously, Joe. He's a Dana White type of guy. Dana White privilege is what some people like to call it. But yeah, he most recently beat Marc-Andre Barriot, who I actually like. I mean, he's obviously not going to be a champion or anything like that, but I think he's a good vet, good gatekeeper type of guy. And then he only really lost to Jack Hermanson, which is surprising at that time. Jack still got it a little bit, and he got Kelvin Gastelum finally settling in this weight class, the 205, which is a better weight class for him. Hey, I feel him 5'9", getting it a little heavier.
205?
Yeah, I think he's going to be permanent, right? Oh, maybe he's 185.
fuck?
Let's check. It's 185. I'm tripping.
Oh, okay, I was about to say.
Oh, because Gastelum, I was tripping. I was like, Gastelum, damn, he used to be 170 trying to make 170.
Nah, but yeah, he always fought his best fights are at 185. That's where he fought Stylebender. It was all about him. What if he actually was, disciplined and could make the 170 weight class? That was always that's been the what if his whole career.
Mm-hmm.
But then we're shown that he can't be disciplined about it. I mean, literally be dropping food vlog videos like what week of weight cut or some shit like that. So
Yeah. Hey, that's what I did my research, and I don't see any food vlog videos from him this time.
I mean,
but he's at 185.
could be locked in. He for sure fought the who's of who. Has mountains of experience on this guy, Pyfer. And Pyfer, like, who did he lost to Jack Hermanson when everybody thought he was gonna be a big favorite. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I guess Kelvin. He's at the end of his career. Also, it's a hit or miss. Like you can see him doing the upset on him, but at the same time, you could just see it's just another hype up Joe Pyfer.
Yeah. Can I interest you in this? Like, Joe Pyfer's minus 355 right now.
I mean,
and Gastelum plus 280.
that's better than before odds on Pyfer for sure. Because the last fight was probably like, what does it say? Go to it. The canceled bout. It probably like minus 500, right?
Yeah, probably close to that. It was Joe Pyfer was
Said plus
Gastelum was plus
250.
250, around 250 this.
Yeah, that's what it said. Plus 250.
Yeah,
See,
so
minus 320.
opening. So it's probably about the same, about similar range.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hate Kelvin Gastelum, but I think the odds are value on him, and it's a value that I'm pretty heavily considering, and I probably will take a shot on. I just think I've been trying to ride the Joe Pyfer train minus the Jack Hermanson thing, because I believe I bet on Jack Hermanson that fight. But it's another thing, like, Joe Pyfer's cool, and he got the power. He could knock anyone out. But it's like there's too many intangibles. Always an issue with him. Always, there's always something going on. And then now he's always a big favorite, So, like, it leaves no room, in my opinion, for error. And with someone like Joe Pyfer, with his skill set, there's room for error. And Gastelum's seen it all, fought the best people. You're telling me, like, he hasn't fought a better striker? No, he's fought Israel Adesanya, for God's sakes. So, and Izzy in his prime damn near, right? Yep. So it's like, bro, Joe Pyfer's not a better striker than Izzy. That's for damn sure. He might be more powerful or whatever, but he's not better hands. So I think Gastelum, and honestly, Gastelum could even wrestle, if he wanted to. And he probably should wrestle. I don't think you just stand there and just trade. He should mix it up, start wrestling, ground and pound, because he's also 5'9". Joe Pyfer is what, 6'3", I think?
Yeah.
So the height difference is going to be an issue. Yeah, he's 6'2". So for me, that part is a little sketchy.
Yeah, fuck it. What's the next one?
Yeah. Damn, do you hear that? I'm tripping. I heard somebody making a phone call.
I just opened my window. I thought there was like somebody in their car.
Yeah, I'm over here like, wait, is it my neighbors or is it what the fuck is this? Is it my phone? I'm looking on my phone like, fuck. Okay, we got the co-main event here. We got the second horny fight of the card and the ending horny fight of the card. We got Juliana Pena against Kayla Harrison. This is actually a low-key, like, hyped up fight, man. Like, we've been trying to see these two been shit talking to each other. Julian Penn is shit talking even more, talking about Kayla Harrison on steroids. Yep. Which, hey, there's some legs to that, But yeah, man, as someone that's been following Kayla Harrison, you know me, since PFL started hyping up, I was already on this train, right, of Kayla Harrison, and I hate Juliana Pena, as a fighter. I'm not into her as a character. I'm not into any of the shit she has to offer since she was on the show until now. So, yeah, but the odds are Kayla Harrison minus 600 and Julia Pena plus 425. That part shocked me. I'm not going to lie, bro. That is insane. And out of principle alone, I'm going Juliana Pena plus 425. I mean, she's... You could argue she should be the favorite in a way, right? Because she's a champ, she's more proven, better competition. But at the same time, when you compare skill for skill, I think that Kayla Harrison is just more physical than her. Mm-hmm. And Harrison's striking's ass, but Pena's striking's ass. Maybe a little less ass, but it's still ass.
Wild, though, and I feel like her shots hurt more because the way she be throwing. You know what I'm saying?
Pena?
Yeah.
She's just more. I feel like she's more aggressive
because they're like straight
right?
shots, but it's just like the technique is just like it's not like follow up. It's not like nice 1 2 3 1 1 2. It's just straight like like almost like rock'em sock'em bop'em robots. Like she just the way she be moving her shit, she looks like a Muppet.
And I think she's got I think she should do that. She should just keep jabbing.
Well, yeah, because you know
keeping distance.
Harrison's not gonna like to get hit either. I feel like her chin, especially at her age, she's older now. She's older and just like barely starting like her UFC, which is Pena is old, but she's been doing it. And the thing why I like, because I'm gonna go with Pena too, but I like Pena also because like her last fight against Pennington, she hadn't fought in hella long, so she was like gassed in that fight. In the end of the last few rounds, she was like gassed. So I feel like this is where she's actually gotten to be able to go like almost back-to-back camps with like no injuries, nothing canceled, where she might be able to go more win and maybe even like get a submission on Harrison later in the fight.
You think a submission?
Nah, yeah. If Harrison's gassed, cause like Kayla Harrison hasn't gone no 5 rounds in the UFC yet either, and I feel like she was looking not good in 3 rounds. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, when you throw I mean, we're not going to look at resume because there's no comparison, right? Like, obviously,
Yeah.
Julia Pena is like fought everybody, right? But also the weight cut. Obviously, if you're going to bet on Harrison, if anyone out there is willing to bet on Harrison at this odds, you might as well wait for the weigh-ins
Yeah.
because she's already a minus 600 favorite, right? Like, how much more? Like, even if she gets a minus 700, it's like damn near the same thing because I'm guessing people are going to put her in a fucking parlay, right? No one's really trying to bet minus 700 or 600 straight for a lot of people, majority of people.
What's a Harrison by submission?
There you go. Now you're talking, my friend. That prediction wise.
And the under. What's the under? Is it under 4.5?
Under is 4.5 at minus 175.
You could try to get something there.
I think that's cool. Harrison.
Harrison, even though you can probably have those prop where it's like more takedowns for Harrison and then
something
submission.
Like that.
Because the thing is, I think she's gonna be able to ragdoll maybe in the beginning, but Pena's jiu-jitsu is hella good too, though. You can't forget about that. That's why I said submission is there because Pena is a grappler. That's why her striking is kind of shitty, but she's good.
She's a wrestler, right?
Yeah. She's like more jiu-jitsu. Because her wrestling
versus Kayla Judo.
Her wrestling is like Michael Chiesa type wrestling where they stick to you, drag you down, you know what I mean? And then get good control and then either try to get a submission or good elbows.
Harrison by sub is plus 175.
What's Pena by sub? Is
Pena by sub is plus 750. So I mean that definitely is in the work because I'm thinking in my head though the other thing is even though I think the value is on Pena and that's probably the way I'm gonna have to bet at the plus 400 or better. It's also but how do I see Pena winning this? I'm gonna be honest. I don't see her really even finishing. Yeah, I guess according to the odds, you're correct. If Pena wins, they have Pena as sub as the plus 750, but it's also the most likely outcome for Pena.
That's the only way I see her winning this fight. I don't see her going in there winning dominant
even by points.
Nuh-uh. Unless maybe she could steal it in the end, because it's all going to see about Kayla Harris's gas tank. Like you said, it's the weight cut, how that's going to go, and then you got to go and fight 5 rounds when all you've been doing is fighting 3.
Yeah.
So, and Pena can go 5 rounds, and like I said, I like it that this is a more recent camp where she's going to be able to. It's not a big ass gap how she's been doing.
Yeah, I don't know. Call me crazy. It's something speaking to me on the Pena plus 900 by points. Even though in my head I'm like, how could she win the round? Because I just see these two girls. They are very aggressive, but I also feel like what's her name? Harris is surprisingly. I don't know about her chin, but if she's on the ground, I think these girls could roll around with each other for multiple rounds.
That's what I'm saying. It's a 5-round fight. Pena can win the last 3, or you know what I mean. The first rounds are always sketch.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I don't know if anyone. I personally don't think anyone could. They can finish each other, but I just don't think it's likely. I don't envision even Kayla necessarily finishing Julia Pena, and I don't.
Pena's been
that's
subbed
why
before.
that alone.
She's been
I
subbed
can't bet
before.
Harrison.
She's been subbed by Shevchenko Pena before.
Yeah, that's one of the GOATs though. So, but then it's Kayla Harrison arguably is a better submission artist than Shevchenko.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
every fight's different though. It's the matchups.
Yeah, I mean, Shevchenko's more of a pure MMA, well-rounded.
She
MMA
came in
game.
as a kickboxer, but yeah, she developed that.
She developed. Now she could just grapple and jiu-jitsu or more grappling, I guess, but just as good. I mean, arguably she goes to that more. It's a lot of times in striking. But yeah, so I guess for the pick, I mean, we're kind of on the same page, right? You think Harrison should be the favorite?
I mean, she should be the favorite, but not a big favorite. But I can see, like I said, I can see Pena winning this fight just based off even the MMA skill. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm going with Pena.
Yeah, we both are. I mean, just on, like I said, value alone plus 425 is crazy. I did not expect that. When I saw that, I thought it was an error.
For real,
I was just like, what the fuck? Next up, man, we got the main event, the rematch, which we were at the Sphere, where Merab became the champ. And now we're seeing it again, except the odds are way different this time. I guess the secret's out on Merab, the machine, and he is minus 270. But earlier he was minus 300 at one point, and Sean O'Malley's plus 230. And let me just start by saying, I've been a big Merab fan. I still am, obviously. And I was watching him in the Virgin Hotel fight Peter Yan and upset Peter Yan and stuff like that. And Merab's a beast, and no one could beat him on the cardio game and just a takedown game. But man, I mean, the odds once again, man, the odds are too wide in my opinion. I think now it's like an overcompensation, right? On the Sean O'Malley side, because when do you get Sean O'Malley at +2 anything? You know? And for me, it's like Merab should win by points, because I don't see him finishing Sean O'Malley. I just don't see it. So that's another thing that's hard to lay juice on a 5-rounder when you know at any point Sean O'Malley can be live on that punch on a dog. I think there's value there. So for the value side, I mean, I have to go betting wise. I'm going with Sean O'Malley. I think anything above +200 has value on it for sure.
Nah, yeah, I'm pulling for O'Malley too, just because it's like if he loses this, like for his like his brand and all the status is like it's low key like gonna be it's like low key over. It won't be over. I'm just saying like just the value of him is gonna be like, damn, you 0-2. Now if it's Merab the champ forever, they're gonna get a title fight again.
Yeah.
And then, but then he said he's been like really locked in. So like that's another thing. Say he's been like just focused, pure training. He knows what the game plan for Merab is. Just strictly, it's gonna be like grappling.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring up that point. Like, not that I think I don't weigh it too much into it, but I think at least he's doing something different. Trying something different than what he's been doing. You notice he hasn't been on social media. Like, we would always see during his fight, he does hella promo, videos, troll videos, just all types of shit. And now, I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't even know this fight's coming up to outside of Merab shit. Like, I didn't even know, like, Sean O'Malley was fighting, like, a few weeks ago. Like, it was coming this soon.
He's trying to be locked in, but it's like, I don't know. How does Sean O'Malley win? Does it have to be TKO? Or, like, you see him, like, dominating all 5? No, like.
No, not all 5, no. Because when Merab, the thing is, I think Merab will get rocked. He's been rocked before, and he was rocked at some point, a little rocked, during that fight that he was dominating Sean O'Malley, right? And O'Malley was very passive in that fight because, quote unquote, allegedly he had an injury, right? A major injury. And because usually, even if you're going to get dominated, when you are standing, why don't you throw some more volume? But it's almost like Merab was throwing more punches than Sean O'Malley was, even, right, when they were standing. So for me, like that, I think we're going to have a chance to see a different O'Malley, and I think with that chance at these odds, it's worth the shot, right? Yeah. At the odds, I think it's a mispricing. Now you're overcompensating for what we just watched, and that happens all the time because we all saw the same thing. We saw Merab just fucking ragdoll this guy for at least 4 rounds, at the Spheres. So obviously that's Merab's thing, and we already seen that. So when you already see that, it's going to be built in because the books see it too, So that's where that's why I think there's value on O'Malley. And yeah, by knockout, let me look that up because I think that if you bet on O'Malley, why wouldn't you sprinkle on the knockout prop? Because how else is he really going to win? Well, definitely not submission. So that's for sure. Let's see. O'Malley by knockout, +325. It's not amazing, but I think if you're going to bet O'Malley at +230, you could sprinkle a little bit on the knockout because I really see that the most likely way, and so do the books, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. And then
Merab by points is -200. I mean,
damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, also it's like this is kind of like they're trying to see. It's like I'm betting on the fact of like if O'Malley is really a champion, because this is also like a test to him where you lost your title and you go get it back against one of the best guys with the highest motor in there. So like, it's a big fight for O'Malley for sure. Because then him to go down 0-2 to Merab, that's gonna mess with him too. Is like for the rest of his career.
Well, you brought up that thing with O'Malley's like, where does he go, right? If he loses, and most likely he will lose, right? He's likely to lose. So it's like, where does he go after this? To me, I think he's a big enough celebrity at this point that if he loses this one, he might not go to contention to titles in the future right away, but they could line him up against some mid-level competition and build him up again. He's young enough. I think he's marketable enough. And, he's good. If you put him on mid-level competition, he's going to dominate.
Yeah, he's a star regardless. But I'm just saying, like, for him, though, as a personal, like, fighter, it's all about you're supposed to be the champ. And then you go down to this 0-2 to this funny little guy, which they were clowning, Marab, like he's like a little dweeb and shit like that. That'd be so like it's extra on the ego, because then also
Oh yeah, for sure.
that can break you too. Like you may never have like the same kind of like motivation or like like grit to get back in there like that.
Yeah.
So that's why I said I'm betting on the fact of him, because the way they used to hype him up, like he was the man, like super champ. This is where you get to prove yourself that you are like a true champion.
Yeah. Shit, to me, he is the man. I mean, not him as a personality overall necessarily, but when I saw him, what drew me to him was his striking. The movement was damn near like Izzy-esque, right? Like his movement is nasty. It's like a really smoother, quicker, but not as powerful. Well, I guess you could argue it's powerful, but Conor McGregor, a little bit, just like so the technical and nice lines, and like his movement is just so smooth, bro. Like. So, I mean, striking wise, maybe he goes into like bare knuckle or something.
Nah, he's still be in the UFC and like he'll still be main event. It's just for like the belt wise, like who's like, because what
like
you
real
see,
fighting shit, MMA, like
because then what are you gonna see
that technical
after this O'Malley versus Umar? Like, how do you feel about that?
That's rough, bro. I feel like that's just his path. When you give him that type of path, Marab and then Umar would just be shitty because the styles is just the worst for him,
Nah, exactly.
We need him with like somebody like I guess
Sandhagen would have been a dope fight.
Sandhagen, there you go, perfect. Because that's still like a test for him on grappling, but then you could strike also, right? And then or like him versus Song Yadong. Have they fought yet?
No.
Am I tripping?
No, they haven't fought.
Yeah, they're in the same weight class, right? So
yeah, 135.
I think that would be good if O'Malley loses. Yeah. If O'Malley loses, I want to see market here Song Yadong against O'Malley. Yeah, that's what I want to see. All right.
They give him Cejudo or some shit.
Man, that fool. Hey, he won some wrestling in like Kyrgyzstan or something.
Yeah, he was like last minute replacement.
Yeah, it came through in the basketball shorts. All right, man. Let's go with some best bets. We came back here. Let's get some positive energy, positive winnings. But what you got? I know it's a juicy card, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that one that I said off the rip. That Azamart, Patchy
Murkoff,
Mix, and Joshua Van.
Mix and Van. Yup.
Fuck it, I'm gonna do a straight up bet with O'Malley.
O'Malley.
Straight up bet with I'm dog chasing.
But all right, but yeah, go ahead. So you have O'Malley plus 230, Murkoff, Mix and Van in the parlay.
Yeah, and then Pena straight up bet.
Pena, okay, big dog too. Pena plus 425.
Oh no, then I'm gonna do another parlay random with Chaos and Sergey Spivak.
Chaos, Spivak. Okay, that's gonna be some big plus money. All right, cool. Yeah, man, I'm gonna start off with a big dog and match you right there. I hate her, but Pena 425, too much value, too much value to deny. I feel like. Then I got. Here we go. I'm gonna go. I like Medeiros, and I'm gonna parlay Medeiros and Joshua Van. Yeah, I think that's gonna be the best situation as far as that goes. Yeah, Joshua Van and Chaos William, or not Chaos, sorry, Joshua Van and what did I say? I'm tripping. Medeiros. That's who I said. Medeiros. Van. Then we got Spivak. I like Sergey Spivak. He's like a little favorite here, minus 140. I put 145, so y'all ain't tripping. And then last but not least here, I think do I have to go greasy again? Because there's a lot of big favorites on this fucking card, man. Yeah, I'm going to go Chaos Williams with Kevin Holland, bro. A little two parlay here. Holland and Chaos.
Yeah,
Am I gonna hate myself for Holland again?
I think I'm gonna drop some later, like on the fight day, like a little bit on Yano Fucking
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of dogs on this card that I feel like you could argue definitely for the value in this shot. I mean,
Luke.
this card is kind of insane, right? So I'm interested to see is either people going to be hella juiced, or are people going to be upset that there's going to be a parlay breaker, one of the greasy parlay breakers? You know, always heartbreaking when it's a huge favorite. But yeah. Until next time, bro. We had a little technical difficulty earlier, so hopefully this is one a continuous video. If someone can edit together with our new production team, but it's a new team, so we gotta make sure we get things right. But yeah, until then, bro. Peace out and smoke out.